Welcome to part 2 of me doing my makeup and telling you all about the analytical research paper that I've been doing for my English class. Just to recap, the topic is on the disproportionate rates at which transgender women experience homelessness and housing instability, and how those two things are heavily associated with poor health outcomes, including mental health and physical health. So really the two main points that I want to touch on in this video have to do with the actual health outcomes associated with housing instability and homelessness. The first one that I'd really like to cover is the increased risk of HIV exposure that is associated with housing instability. Many young trans people are at a higher risk of participating in risky behaviors such as survival sex to achieve housing stability in whatever way they can. This is the number one thing that increases the risk of HIV exposure, which is already really difficult to treat as a person with money, and without money, it's likely not going to be treated or found in time because less access to screenings. Additionally, trans women and gender non-conforming people are 2 to 3 more times likely to report tobacco use and nicotine use, which is also associated with a long list of physical health outcomes that are not good at all, and it impacts the longevity of people's lives greatly. In terms of negative mental health outcomes, psychological distress is highly associated with chronic homelessness. So the more psychological and emotional distress that a trans woman is experiencing, the longer she's likely to experience homelessness and housing instability. A lot of the associated psychological distress and emotional distress associated with housing instability stems from a lack of social support and a lack of family support in respects to being transgender. Additionally, a lot of women's shelters turn away trans women, or they force them to be housed with men, which heavily affects the length of homelessness and housing instability and worsens the emotional and psychological distress associated with these things. In fact, one of the studies that I was reading said that only 30% of shelters were open to providing some form of services to trans women, and even then, those were not many services. I felt really limited with the amount of research that I could do. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I was only allowed for 6 or 7 pages, so there's a lot more research that could be done on this subject. All of my sources are primarily from the CDC, and I'd be really open to doing more detailed videos on the subsets that I've covered in this past 2 videos. But as always, everyone, be bold and be audacious. Right now is the most important time for us to be audaciously ourselves and speak up and speak out. And also, look how good my makeup looks. So cute.